Hey guys, how are you doing? So, if you think the drama with the Epstein files is over, think again. Today, some members of Congress like Thomas Massie and Ro went to the DOJ to see the unredacted Epstein files. Remember, the whole reason the Epstein files got released is because of the Epstein Files Transparency Act that was passed in November. That law said that the Justice Department must release all unclassified Epstein files, names cannot be hidden just to protect reputations, and only victim identities must stay hidden. But unfortunately, a lot of people's names were redacted just to protect those people. For example, there's this email from Jeffrey Epstein to someone that we didn't know, and the email said, "Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video." And until today, we didn't know who Jeffrey Epstein sent this email to. But then Thomas Massie went and saw the files, unredacted files, and he said this: "A sultan seems to have sent this." And by sultan, it indicates this guy, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulaim. And this guy's from the UAE. He's actually the CEO of a logistics company called DP World. And DP World basically runs ports and shipping hubs around the world, including major ports in Canada. So yeah, he's very powerful, very rich, and he's in a lot of Epstein files. Like this picture, for example, of him standing next to Epstein with the piece of the cloth from the Kaaba laying on the ground. As of right now, he's not arrested, nothing happened to him, he didn't come out and talk publicly yet, so we'll see what's gonna happen. But the thing is, people are now upset. They're like, why did you redact his name? He doesn't seem to look like a victim. Seriously, why was his name redacted? Like, the DOJ said that the name was hidden for privacy reasons. What privacy? Like, you said that the only names that you're gonna redact are names of victims. Now you're privately hiding names? Like, why? Like, unless you want to protect those people from being known around the world, then maybe that's your reason. And that basically makes it illegal because you're just protecting those people who did some heinous stuff on this island. Because who knows how many more powerful people they protected, how many more files they didn't show to us, because as you know, we got 3 out of 6 million files, so yeah, how many more stuff are they trying to hide to protect some powerful people around the world? The thing is, when the congressmen went to the DOJ room, they were told no phones, no laptops, only handwritten notes, and they had limited time. And in just 2 hours, Thomas Massie said that we saw 6 men whose names shouldn't have been redacted. Because he posted that publicly, everyone got mad, and social media lit up, and the DOJ was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna remove those redactions. And they removed 16 redactions. Actually, 20 names suddenly became visible all of a sudden because there was some backlash. That's how horrible it is. They showed victims' names, but they hid powerful people's names. Seriously, how is that okay? Also, talk about Trump threatening us again this week. Oh yeah, Trump threatened Canada, and it seems like a weekly thing right now, but apparently this time he threatened them over a bridge. Because if you don't know, Canada and the US had one bridge between Detroit and Windsor, and that bridge was small. It only had 4 lanes, but it carried millions of trucks every single year. And it's called the Ambassador Bridge. But because it's so small, Canada and the US were like, you know what? Let's make another bridge. Actually, it wasn't Canada and the US, it was Canada and the state of Michigan. So in 2012, they decided to make a newer bridge, make it bigger, safer, and publicly owned so that it would reduce any traffic delays and protect trade. And thing is, when they were deciding to do all this, Canada decided to pay for the whole thing. They decided to pay for the entire budget of this bridge. They named it the Gordie Howe International Bridge because Gordie Howe was a legendary hockey player who was Canadian, but he played 25 seasons in the Detroit Red Wings, so it kind of worked out to name it that name. And it seemed like a great idea, but thing is, the family that owns the other bridge, the Ambassador Bridge, wasn't happy because that family made a lot of money from their bridge, so having another bridge would affect them. So they actually sued and delayed and protested so that this bridge wouldn't be made. But then in 2017, Donald Trump and Canada's Prime Minister back then, Justin Trudeau, issued a joint statement saying that this bridge is a vital economic link and it's good for both countries, okay? Listen to this, because Trump said that it's good for both countries. And then they started construction in 2018. Construction was finally going to be done in 2026, but then Trump was like, no, I don't like this. He actually posted this today. As he said, as everyone knows, the country of Canada has treated the United States very unfairly for decades. I don't know when, but anyway, now things are turning around for the USA and fast, but imagine Canada's building a massive bridge between Ontario and Michigan. They own both the Canada and the United States sides, and of course built it with virtually no US content. Okay, let me tell you one thing. First of all, Canada doesn't own the whole bridge. No, they paid for it, but they don't own the whole thing. And second of all, they actually used steel from the US as well, so that's kind of weird that he said it, but anyway. He then said President Barack Hussein Obama stupidly gave them a waiver so they could get around the Buy America Act. What? Yeah, and not use any American products, including our steel. Again, as I told you, they did use their steel. Like, fact checks check that, and they're like, no, the bridge did have American steel. And then he complained about the deal that Canada made with China. Again, right? He complained like, what, 2-3 times already? But now he said that if Canada makes the deal with China, China will end ice hockey, which is kind of weird. When did China ever say that they want to end ice hockey? And he also said that they will permanently eliminate the Stanley Cup. Again, when was that ever discussed? When did anyone complain about ice hockey or the Stanley Cup? But then he ends with saying that the bridge will not open, like, I will not allow this bridge to open until the United States is fully compensated for everything we have given them. And also importantly, Canada treats the United States with fairness and respect that we deserve. First of all, as I told you, Canada paid for this bridge, like 4.3 billion American dollars. Yeah, Canada paid for it. And also, Trump is the one who's putting tariffs on Canada in the first place. So, what do you mean by treat the United States with fairness and respect? I don't know. It's weird. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that's another weekly threat that Trump is going to give Canada. Like, I'm going to come next week. I'm going to be making a video. And it's probably going to be about Trump threatening Canada again. And it's probably going to be about something really random and really weird. Okay, now talk about me blocking flights to Cuba, and again, because of Trump. Yeah, so if you're in Canada and you want to go to Cuba, you won't be able anymore because Canada said that they're not sending any flights to Cuba. But why? Well, because Cuba doesn't have any fuels for their planes. So let's say you go to Cuba, you're going to be stuck there because the planes there don't have any fuel. Actually, the Cuban president, Miguel Diaz-Canel, warned of a national fuel emergency, and he said that the government might do some intense stuff like no public transportation, fewer work days, and extreme energy cuts just because they don't have fuel. But how is that Trump's fault? Well, thing is, as you know, Trump took over Venezuela's oil, and Cuba used to get a lot of oil from Venezuela. I don't know if they bought it or not. I don't know what kind of deal they had between them, but Cuba did get a lot of oil from Venezuela. Once Trump got Venezuela's oil, Trump was like, yeah, I'm not sending you any oil. So Cuba was stuck. They didn't have their oil from Venezuela. But at least Cuba had Mexico because, yeah, Mexico did send a lot of oil to Cuba. But thing is, Trump came again and he told Mexico, if you send Cuba any oil, I'm gonna put tariffs on you. So Mexico was like, okay, sure, I'm not gonna send oil to Cuba. So now Cuba's stuck. Both Venezuela and Mexico are not sending them oil anymore. And apparently Trump is doing that because he believes that Cuba is a communist country and is an enemy to the United States. And he also wants to change its government. Like what Trump is planning to do is to hurt Cuba's economy so bad that the people would turn on its government. But because of this whole oil thing, Canada was like, okay, I'm sorry, Cuba, but I cannot send people to you anymore. They're going to be stuck there. And the thing is, 3,000 Canadians are already in Cuba, right? But Canada's sending empty planes with fuel so that they can bring back those people. So Canada is the first country to block all flights to Cuba. And I said first because who knows, maybe other countries will be like, yeah, we don't want to send our people to Cuba anymore because we don't want them to be stuck there either. And I do kind of feel bad for Cuba. Well, you should feel bad for us too because it hasn't stopped raining in 2026. Yeah guys, this one is kind of crazy too because it hadn't stopped raining in the UK since the beginning of 2026. So what, it's been 41 days and it's been raining every single day in the UK. And it hasn't been raining in the same area, but different areas of the UK. But for the UK in general, yeah, it didn't stop raining. It's been raining every single day. Areas like Cornwall and County Down in Northern Ireland recorded their wettest January ever. And then Plymouth, that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, Plymouth had its wettest January in 104 years. Harn and Dorset broke a 74-year record. Crazy. It's just been raining like crazy over there. And some areas in the UK haven't seen sunlight in 2 weeks. 2 weeks without sun! Yeah, I kind of feel bad for the people in the UK, but yeah, anyway, that's it for today, guys. And again, if I didn't talk about the topic that you wanted me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow.